Welcome everyone, it's Vapors of Trigamar. It is time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. Since we don't have any shards in this account, we're not going to be doing that, and I already have a cold heart. I have to keep reminding myself. So, we are going to be going on the Great Terror mission to fight off Arcane Keep. We're starting maybe at level 120 going up. Also noticed our team power is slowly rising into the stratosphere. One thing I've noticed. I think legendaries have a lot of team power. Especially with better gear and levels and ascensions, all of that adds up. So yeah, we'll start with this. I believe this is the one on the right that removes buffs. So always kill the one on the right. Yeah, see? That's what I gotta remember. Always kill the one on the right. The one on the right is the one that causes the most issues, always. I think that's going to allow me to kill the boss. That's the gimmick. On top of that, he's going to get perma-burned, which should harm him significantly. And thankfully, he's void affinity. So, that gives us the edge. Because then that means it doesn't matter if we, because I'm hoping that if I get Direct Star into the right situation, ascend him, and then give him the right stuff, he should do even better than he currently does. Now, in terms of who we're going to kill, we were going to kill this guy. Because you want to watch carefully what their actual behavior is. Because it's always the one on the right that's the biggest problem. Decrease attack is one thing, that reduces how fast you kill the boss. But the other one reduces your survivability, which is more important to eliminate. The destroyer of your survivability. Survivability is an underrated trait in this game. So that's something you always want to remember when it comes to this boss. And other than that, it's just a slogfest, kinda. You'll want decreased defense to stop his increased defense from meaning any too much. You'll want to counter it. And you'll want to keep him, if you can burn him all the time, do it. Because you want to make sure that he constantly takes damage. That's generally what you want. I'm trying to finish him off quickly in case he has a potion. Because that's my goal, is to get these potions out of the way. Because I want to see him ascend. Of course not. Of course not. I am considering making a nasty team comp. For the highest one. And I think I have a way of executing it now. If we can get up there, that'll be great. All right. Who wants to get provoked? So basically, we're going to want to focus the one on the right. Because it's the one on the right always that removes the buff. If you can focus him down, the fight is almost won. See? The fight is almost won the second you do that. That's how you want this fight to go. You want his bird, you want to dictate the pace of the fight. You don't want him dictating anything. And the more buffs you have on your team that you can keep it on, the more he's going to suffer. Now, I don't think you could provoke him. No, you can't provoke him. Or block his active skills. It would be really funny if you could, honestly. If you could block his active skills, that would be hilarious. A lot like Darius. He's also immune to freeze. He is immune to freeze. Well, that's annoying. At least he's not immune to poison, HP burn. Lash. Okay, after a certain point, I'm going to have to drop Kale out of the equation entirely. Because I'm on the warpath to going up higher than I've ever gone. And that's going to involve some mind-blowing nastiness. Because there comes a point in the later dungeons, the really late dungeons like this, after this point, that Kale's usefulness starts to dip. And that's when I have to use other champions in his place. When his usefulness dips. I'm not saying he's useful throughout most of Brutal as a campaign farmer. He is. But once you get to a certain point, when the game becomes nightmarish enough, even Kale starts struggling, so you end up having to pull out other fiendish ghouls, like War Maiden and Tank Gear and stuff like that. Drexthar Blood Twin, the carry of late. Because he can carry where Kale can't. Like, Kale will start struggling like mad, but Drexthar will come up and do the job. Drexthar is the carry of late. Because, yes. Okay, lash him. Get that going. Yeah, decreases defense. You're going to want to go for this guy on the right. The guy on the right is the one that always strips the buffs. If you kill him, it's yours. And they always go in a pattern. Right, left, right, left. See, decrease attack, I can tank that all day. It's not exactly the funnest experience on the planet, but it's the decreased buffs that's the real problem. Because if he removes the buffs, he can just kill your whole team practically for free over and over. Well, not for free, but he's able to do a hell of a lot more. So yeah, we're going to be trying to go to the highest gauntlet that I can. A gauntlet so high, Kale can't cope with it. Practically. This is what we're going to need to get these superior potions out of this fool. We're going to need to fight him on the highest difficulty I possibly can. And only then and only then, will we be able to actually get the stupid superior potion. Because right now, I don't think I can. Decreased defense is invaluable for this fight. Because he has so much defense at this point. It's legendary. So that's why, in general, I am thinking Vizier, but again, I'd have to like level 6 him to do this, but eventually Vizier would be good in this fight. Because Vizier could stack the buffs sky high on this sucker and burn him to the ground. Easily. See, that's what we want to see. So, we're going to take him out of the equation entirely. And we're going to put Vogoth in here. Because we're going to want... We're going to want a lot of burn on the waves and maybe wave manipulation. I'm starting to think we're going to want War Maiden. We're going to want to change our approach. As my main objective here is to try to get as many superiors as I can. That's the main objective. But to do it, I have to do a fair amount. Because these guys are very durable enemies. And that normal stuff can't beat them. Unless you have like uncommonly good nuke gear and stuff, you're not going to want to do this. Like, you're not going to want to do it with regular champions. Now, if you have really good savage gear, then maybe. But other than that, I don't do it that way. I go with champions that can benefit from tank setups. Like, this is a very nasty tank setup because we have double provoke, HP burn, and a decreased defense. This is extreme, and a revive. This is extremely cheese versus the AI, and an ally protect, just if you thought we didn't have more backups. Yeah. The suspenders and a belt approach. Because, yes, I have to literally challenge the best this keep has to offer. in order to make this work. Takes 2 minutes just to get through the waves. Never mind the boss itself. And then I'm going to have to try to do the version I've never done before and beat 220 now that I know what the secret is. I learned it myself. You have to target the right one. You want to bring decreased defense. You want to bring a very tanky damage team. Drexthar does qualify. For this strategy. Granted, his gear is not in perfect shape, but that's going to take even more grinding to fix. As for my other account, it doesn't even have enough voids to do it, even if I wanted to. Um... Anyway, after those obscenely tedious waves, I'm gonna go burn this guy. And then target him. First we're gonna get a provoke. Then a decreased defense. See, and the one thing I like about having a tanky team, them removing the buffs is not the end of the world. On top of that, if I kill this guy on the right, we should be able to do this without too much issue. Because this is the one to focus. This one right here. He's the one. Because once you got him down, the boss himself is exposed. Practically. For all intents and purposes, the boss himself is exposed. That's how it is. I believe he stays that way the entire time unless they switch sides. Which I don't think they do. Okay, we need to get the burn on this guy so we can stop being an arrogant douche canoe. Because I'm sick of him not giving me more potions. I need a lot of these potions. And it doesn't help that he is a pain about it. It doesn't help. That doesn't help. Alright. We should be able to get this guy out of the way. And with that, he's completely exposed now. Granted, this fight is incredibly hard, but at least we're getting potions and other rewards from this. And hopefully, one can hope, I actually get the potion for one of these higher difficulties. One can hope. You never can tell with this boss, but one can hope. There we go. Keeping his turn meter down would be good. Be nice. Nice touch. Get that triple hit on him. I like how it continuously burns him. That's good. Can we get it? Of course it's that. Of course it's that. Why would it not be that? Why would it not be? How high of a boss do I have to go before the thing gives it to me? This is a PB if I beat this. Although I now understand something about this boss that will probably allow me to beat it. And part of that is to remove the guy on the right. Focus the guy on the right always, because the guy on the right is the one that does it. They don't change it throughout the boss. It's the same pattern. I was just too dumb to see the pattern. There's a pattern with this. Every boss has a pattern. Every set of enemies that's AI has a pattern. You want to look for the pattern, exploit and punish the pattern. Yeah, I'm just going to use decreased defense on these suckers, because they already have too much defense. And stats. Like, look at their stats, man. At this level, their stats are ludicrous. Like, look at these AI. Look how long it takes for me to fight them out. Look how long this is taking me. Even with them being on fire, for the love of Talos. Look how much they're on fire. And they still barely matters. Like, they're literally burning to death, and it's taking them this long to burn to death. Literally. So annoying. Literally infuriating. Like, imagine if you could increase the duration of that stun. If you're wondering, you really do want... You do want them all burning. You definitely want their whole team burning. Because the problem is, if you don't have basically their whole team burning, they won't die. You want to keep them both burning and under decreased defense. Because otherwise, you will not finish them particularly, like, in any time soon. And if possible, weaken. There's a reason I bothered to bring War Maiden in here. She's tanky and still does a boatload of damage versus tanky enemies, because she does the decreased defense and she's force affinity. So the combination of that is actually really good for this. Scylla the Drakes is good because she's got a stun and a revive. And Vogoth kind of is a glue. He holds the team together. Every time someone hits him, he heals your party for the damage they deal, which... It's really good against AI who love to smack him a lot, because it gives my team so many chances where they wouldn't normally have chances. Man, it takes a while to kill this sucker. Jeez, man. 5 minutes for the waves, and then I've got to get past the boss itself. And to get past the boss, I'm assuming we want to kill the one on the right. We're going to want to decrease its defense. This is the one we want to kill. This one. Because they're going to want to keep him on fire constantly. Because that's the only way we can really keep our buffs. Because, yeah, this guy on the right will continue to be a severe issue. Okay, we got him. Well, that'll give us a way into the game. On top of the fact that I actually have a Vogoth. Which Vogoth, rank 6 Vogoth on this boss is a lifesaver. Let me tell you. Okay. I need this ad to die. I need to get... First, I'm going to get my buffs up. Okay, there we go. We're making history here, guys. This will be the first time I ever beat this bad boy. PB on Arcane Keep. Never beat this before. The main thing is to beat that ad. That's how you beat it. You have to beat the one on the right, and you want a Vogoth to soak the damage, or something like him. You're going to want something that soaks a lot of area of effect, like major like beam damage, like just his sword beam, because most of his damage is concentrated in his sword beam. And you're going to want a very tanky team, because without a tanky team, he's just going to pick you all off, you know? That's why Drexthar is so good in this fight. Because you can build him very tanky and he still can do damage. The fact he's not burning right now. Okay, yeah, I was getting disconcerted there. I was like, he's not burning, question mark. Why is he not burning? Okay, we need to put decreased defense here. Decreased defense is going to be massively useful in this fight. Because this is like a final fight with the Arcane boss. Like, literally like a final battle. Because a 10-minute battle. This is a hard battle. Like, really hard. And yet, this isn't even as high as it goes. It goes up higher than this. The fact he resisted that decreased defense tells me this guy has a lot of resist. Because very few people can resist that decreased defense of War Maiden. I mean, look at, she's not even wearing any clothes. That should decrease your defense alone. Never mind to literally resist her crumbling blast. That takes a lot of resistance. What kind of resist does this freak show have? Like, dude. Kind of resist. How can you resist the War Maiden? Like, what the hell? You are so weird. How tanky are you? You monstrosity. Who's about to fall for the very first time! And not even give me the potion. I'm in shock. He gave me 7 of the Wow. What an ass. Wow. I've like... I'm not going to want to do it this way. Holy mackerel. Like, you would think that beating this would do it. But no. No. In the next episode, I'm going to attempt this.